Hey guys, I got a pretty cool little video today. So I hate AEGs, I hate maintenance, I hate everything you hate. My time is scarce, and my free time and with the family and my career is pretty nuts. I don't have time to mess with a lot of stuff, so I try to keep things as simple as possible. And I have found, by and large, that HPA is easier. Everything is easier about it. The consistency is good. I really like HPA. The one downside, of course, is your line, which I've come to live with. So one of the things I've done is for around here, I don't know if I would game with these per se, but for around here, doing anything with my pistols, I don't have to waste any propane anymore because I have these CQB Russian HPA taps. These are really cool. They take place of your fill valve essentially, and you put your fill valve O-ring on, and you simply install this in that spot. It is really cool, and it fits right on your standard quick connect for your Polar Star or whatever HPA rig you run. This pretty standard coupler or couplet, whatever. Anyway, it's really easy to install. I already did one, of course, already to make sure I wasn't too newbie when I did this. You just get a tool, or I'm not even really sure you need any kind of a fancy tool for this. And you push it in, take your fill valve out, just like that. There we go. You take your O-ring off. This is going to be a little stubborn probably for you. It takes a little bit of fussing to get that off. Yeah. I'll bet everybody doing this probably pauses their camera about now, but I'm determined to get this off within a reasonable amount of time. There's probably an easier way to do this, truth be told. I would probably suggest, if you do another install on another one of these, do them all at once. I mean, otherwise I put this tech salve, gun salve on my fingers here to lube up the O-ring before I reinstalled it. And it kind of got away from me here, and it's really, really slippery. So I would not recommend that other people do that. There we go. And you just reinstall it on here. Make sure it's on there pretty good. I think I'm making this look harder than it really is. There. I put a little bit of this on most O-rings, and they seem to stay pretty good. Honestly, I would probably recommend applying this with some kind of like a Q-tip or a brush or something. Not get that all over your hands. Kinda not advised. Get my towel over here. Then you take your completed finished unit and you drop it in here, and you just kind of screw it in. It'll catch and draw itself in really nicely. Then give it a good firm turn. Then I grab a pair of pliers. Give it a gentle turn as well. Probably less than a quarter turn if you do a pretty good job finger tight. That should be okay. Then I'm going to test it. Okay, so there are no leaks. Sounds good. Alright, so we'll do. Go ahead and load some BBs into this. Should just call my channel hitting the camera with my hands, because I seem to always do that. Right. All right. So I'm just gonna fire off a couple rounds here. No particular skill at all. So yeah, it works. It works really good. So yeah, these are. All right, guys. So I'm back with my Wii MMP9. This particular one, I have two of them. This one is bone stock. This is like basically my control test here. I have a few rounds in a propane mag or green gas mag, and I also have my newly HPA tapped mag, and I want to see the difference here. So the first couple rounds I test fired before I started the video here, I was looking in the 286 range, and I figured that would drop after a few rounds. So let's see where we're at now. Okay, so around 256 or so. Right, so now I'm gonna try to one-handedly install this. Hold on just a second. I'd like to set up a tripod or something if I can, but that's not working out today. Alright, let's try this now. Yeah, so it doesn't look like a massive variation. There is some, which I would have to say if you wanted more, you would just turn your regulator up a little bit. Right now, I have it on my compressor here, and I have it set to 80 psi for testing, and it seems to. I think I'll just leave it on that. That seems nice and efficient. And it's within, 10, 15, 20 feet per second. I'm fine with that. Alright, so I put a couple hundred rounds through each of these three magazines. Everything went really, really well. In fact, it went amazing. The only gotcha that I found so far in testing is that my taps here actually walked out. They unscrewed and they were leaking. And they probably did that because I put some Tech Salve here on the O-rings that you take off your factory fill valve and put on these and then screw in. And I'm not sure if that's necessary. I just did it out of habit. You could put some Teflon tape on there and that would completely eliminate that issue. Or you can do like I do and I just carry one of these on my plate carrier or my belt, whatever I'm running that day. And I just have pliers and pop them open real quick, and when I reload my mag, I'll just check it, and if it's fine, it's fine. Now my fingers had Tech Salve on them, and I put these on finger tight, and then I'd use this to do just a little quick hit, basically. And it's recommended that you put them on and you torque them with your wrench a quarter turn. So since I did the majority of that hand tight, I'm thinking that they were under the actual torque. I don't know what the actual torque spec itself is, but I was probably under that. So these ran at 248 feet per second with no variable whatsoever, not even -1. It was amazing. This fully charged ran 285 or 286 feet per second. The majority of the shots were 262 and 258 for the majority of those. So very similar FPS range. Definitely would go with this. Now, I achieved the 248 FPS with this, with Elite Force, 0.25 gram BBs, and 80 PSI on my regulator. This, of course, I just filled and put the 0.25 grams in here, and that was it. So it was definitely, easier, faster to reload. The one other thing, I think with an HPA tap mag this size, that'd be way, way faster to hook up in a you know, for a quicker reload. These are big, they're kind of cumbersome, they're hard to hold. I found my hand getting over this a lot, and I'm afraid I'm going to break it or something. And then hooking up your line, you know, it's kind of, you know, I definitely like to hook up my line once it's in the gun. You know, it just seems like a better step than trying to holster my gun and do that. So anyway, but yeah, it's pretty cool. I really like this. It worked in both my MMP, my Wii MMPs, my built-up one here that has almost nothing stock on it, and then this one here. Even the internals are modified in that. I didn't have to file the sears yet. I've got, you know, like 600 plus rounds through this now, and I haven't had to touch the hammer sear at all. So, whereas this one, I think I had like 10 through it, and I had to mess with the hammer sear and do some other stuff. So, so in summary, it works very well. I think maybe some Teflon tape, maybe in order if you go ahead and install that, put a little light layer of that on. But these CQB Russian things are amazing. These HPA valves they're awesome. I mean, definitely buy one. I mean, they come off and they go on so easily. They do no permanent damage to your mag. They're $15 a piece. Get one. I mean, definitely buy one. If you have an air compressor available to you, or if you already have an air rig from other HPA weapon systems, you're crazy not to buy this. You're absolutely nuts not to buy this for $15. You know, to save on propane and on your you know, on your other stuff. Like I run mine off my air compressor. You're crazy not to buy these. So, yeah. So 2 thumbs up. Thanks. Thanks a lot, guys.